Hello, I'm John Hitchcock. I'm from a little community up on the northeast coast between Aberdeen and Peterhead called Colliston. We set up our climate action group called Sea Change back in 2018, and since then we've managed to get support for, we've got a grant to purchase the building you see behind me, the old kirk, which has been retired for a few years, plus a large patch of land which we're going to turn into a community woodland, and the kirk we're going to regenerate as a green demonstration project. So there's a lot going on. It's been great fun. It's been a lot of hard work. We've also got regular open discussions going on, so a lot of support from the community, and in those discussions we're looking at various little teams and groups are looking at things like a swap shop in the community, a community garden. We'd really like to get going a community environmental audit so we can really focus on areas that can make a difference to our carbon footprint for the community and individual households. We're just kicking off now the feasibility for an energy and heating, community energy and heating scheme, to see if we can make any progress on that, which is great fun. The funding was fantastic from Scottish Land Fund, SLF, and we got about 170,000, just over. An awful lot of effort from a handful of folk, few folk in the community. So it's really intensive for some people, this funding. And it's got to be robust. I agree with that, and that's really good. But some of the decisions we've had to make have been based on the funding timing rather than what's good for the environment and what's good for the community. So it'd be great to see future funding being life of project, going on a bit longer. Yes, it needs to be robust. It needs to be repeatable so that other communities can do much the same and learn from our experience. And it needs to be, as I say, it needs to be robust. But the time constraints and the innovation may be less critical. So anyway, it sounds great what you're doing down at the Climate Assembly down there. So good luck with all of that, and hope that's helped. Cheers.
Hello, my name's Jane. I'm here in Donside Urban Village, tucked away right next to River Don, close to the centre of Aberdeen. I'm resident of the village and chair of the local residents community association, and I'm also director and chair of our very own hydro scheme. 8 years ago, a member of our residents association, Sinclair, decided to pick up an abandoned plan to create a community hydro scheme using the River Don. Once he had explained his plan to take this £1.2 million scheme forward, I became involved and totally hooked on the idea of us creating renewable energy from the river that we lived by. Several years of planning, followed by 3 months of intense building, saw our micro turbine start to produce renewable, clean green energy in September 2016. We created a community benefit society, Aberdeen Community Energy, and financed our scheme by floating first shares and then bonds. It was wonderful to see the huge appetite people from far and wide had for investing in a green energy project. Scotland had really good policy, funding and support agencies set up at that time that allowed community energy schemes to flourish. We wouldn't exist without that, and probably neither would a whole bunch of other schemes. We were also able to access the good financial incentive tariffs, which were then available and now are not. So sadly, we or others couldn't undertake this project now. Through the Scottish Land Fund, the Residents Association has bought the land where the hydro sits. Plans are already underway to develop and landscape this land into Donside Community Park. We've had beehives on our land for the past 2 years, so we're off to a great start.